Over 6 months of using the Zflip 7, I've had some absolutely amazing experiences, but also some rather interesting happenings. Like this one time in lab during college, I took a picture of the blackboard that had some like ancient looking hieroglyphics on it. Now you might think, oh, he's gonna use AI translate. I did take a picture of the blackboard, the AI systems on my phone. It took me to study DocU. It's a site that had the exact quiz that I was taking that day that was connected to the lab in my university. And it had all the answers that I didn't use. That's part of what's made this phone such an amazing experience. It's small, cute, but it's such a powerful sidekick for your everyday things as long as you know what you're doing. Like if you do back shots, it'll automatically take a screenshot, or you can program it to launch any app of your choosing. And you can also customize how many back shots. So 2 back shots takes a screenshot, 3 back shots, camera. You can customize things. And as a student, there are so many features that I've used. A lot of them have to do with Samsung AI that I absolutely love. This phone has a solid mic. Now you might be like, who cares? Who really cares, guys? This mic is so good, and this phone is so tiny that you can really place it anywhere on a small college desk and have it stay very discreet. That allows you to record lectures without this getting in the way. So now you have this lecture recording. I feed that entire like 1 hour recording into Samsung transcripts, or they call it AI transcripts. That creates an entire text transcript of the lecture, and it's super good. And then I take that entire text transcript and I paste it into ChatGPT, and I tell ChatGPT to make me like 100 test questions. That way, I don't even take notes anymore. This is not the advice, but I don't take notes anymore in class. I just use this to record lectures. I tell it to make me 100 test questions. I go through those test questions, and the ones that I get wrong, I kind of focus on studying more of that content. That makes studying so much more powerful. So let's get into the 6 months of updates of the Zflip 7, going over build quality, features, and updates to the camera, the processor, and more. And I'm also going to talk mostly about my experiences, the good and the bad. And first, let's get started with the camera. I know that the camera hardware has 0 upgrades since last generation, but Samsung did add this update called, get a load of this, Pro Visual Engine. And if you get the Camera Assistant app from the Samsung store, you can get additional features to control your images, to control exposure, brightness, focus, things like that. Just gives it a little bit, more of a professional touch. But the biggest advantage of the Zflip 7 camera is this. The fact that you can flip it open. The fact that you can flip it open and use the outer display to frame your image. That's one of the problems I have with the iPhone 17 Pro. There's no screen. There's nothing. You know what I mean? So like you can't frame your image if you're trying to take a selfie, while on the Zflip 7 you can. And arguably, framing is the most important thing when it comes to getting a really good image. So we're gonna put that to the test. I'm gonna use the phones to take selfies out and about, and obviously with the Zflip 7, I get the added advantage of being able to frame myself. While with the iPhone 17 Pro, I can't do that. So even though the iPhone camera is better on paper, does it actually take better selfies? Does it actually take better images? Let's take a look. So I've downloaded the images, and we're gonna compare them and look at which ones are slapping. So both of these are $1,000 phones, and right off the bat, you notice a difference in the color. There is a huge difference in the color saturation happening, but also it sets the ambiance between the two images. Now, when I was taking images, one of the cool things about the Zflip is how easy it is to control the timer. You just put up your fingers and it starts running a timer that you can set based on how many seconds you want it to wait. But again, even indoors, the biggest difference is the color reproduction. Okay, so look, the images themselves are still a bit of a handicap. They're definitely usable. If you're posting to platforms like Instagram or WhatsApp, those platforms are going to automatically lower the resolution of your images. So, any kind of social media use, this camera is fine. don't worry about it. Only when you're looking to do professional content creation, like you're not just uploading to social media, you're rather going to be exporting the files out of this phone and into like your main computer to like add LUTs and do color grading and stuff like that. This is going to be a nightmare to work with. Also, since the S25 Ultra and the Z Flip 7, both of them have Pro Log, which is similar to Apple's ProRes, but Apple's been doing it for a lot longer. This is the first time we see Pro Log on Samsung phones. And on the S25 Ultra, it works pretty good. You can take that raw log video, put it into your computer, and actually have a lot of depth and range to work with. The Z Flip 7, we tried the Pro Log version like last year and compared it to the iPhone 16, it was a nightmare. It didn't look good. Like the hardware is just way too limiting. So the software is there and there's a lot you can do with the software, but the hardware is just far too limitation. My point is, the camera has been quite a bit of a letdown. I do use it in college. I do use it to like take pictures of blackboards and in labs and things like that. But for the most part, when it comes to any kind of professional content creation or any kind of, posting that I might be doing on Instagram or something, I will opt for the S25 Ultra or the iPhone 17 Pro. Or the Z Fold. This is a fantastic camera. But like guys, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2. I don't know about your math, but 3 is better than 2 now, come on. But now let's talk about build quality. It is stellar. This is hands down the best flip phone made to date in terms of build quality. Like I'm having zero issues that I've had with like every other flip. I'm talking about the 3, the 4, the 5. There's no creaking or any noise coming from the hinge. There's no issues with the phone not opening flat. There's no issues with any bubbles or any issues with the crease itself. In fact, there is like zero dust accumulation. I used to have dust accumulate near the hinges and up here because like the old screen protectors wouldn't go all the way to the edge. Now the screen protector not only goes all the way to the edge, there is zero dust accumulation happening anywhere on the inner display. So I don't know what exactly they changed because a lot of the mechanism looks the same as the Z Flip 6, but it is in practice severely more of an upgrade. What a horrible adjective. To be completely honest, I did drop this phone several times without a case, and that was fully my fault, and it fell on the road. And not some like, soft, road where the skateboarders skate, but like some rough concrete in a car garage, and this still has no real issues. There is a dent on the hinge, so there is a little crack there, but it has done absolutely nothing to how smoothly it opens and closes. There's not even noise coming from the hinge or the glass or the crease. It's butter, just like day one, even 6 months later. I've never had a flip that's this consistent. So the build quality, big W. And also, if you're wondering, my cover display does not raise off due to a bloating battery like it did with the Z Flip 6. But speaking about batteries, oh, this sucks. Oh, it sucks, guys. Oh my god. If you're a Samsung pole dancer or Samsung, I don't give a damn, have at it. Go in the comment section, call me an Apple fanboy. I don't give a damn. This battery is garbage. There's no two ways about this. It sucks. But let me explain. Because it's quite peculiar. It's a peculiar situation. My battery has degraded substantially. I will have this charging all night and it'll be 100% in the morning. And then for that specific day, I might be testing a different phone like the Z Fold or something like that. By the afternoon, this will be down to like 55%. Literally just sitting there on standby. And because I was suspecting an issue with the actual battery, I ended up doing a full like phone diagnostic using the Samsung Members app, and lo and behold, there is no issue with the battery. And it even says it's at full capacity. So then I used a third-party app to cross-check the results, and I actually found 6 damaged cells in my battery. Now, over time, that's normal, but losing a cell a month, is that really normal? Is that? I don't know. But honestly, I don't think that's still not an issue. Like losing 6 cells from the battery isn't going to severely degrade the battery. So I don't think the battery is actually the issue at all. Now, what's interesting is the Z Flip 6 easily lasted me all day. In fact, the battery technology in this and the Z Flip 6 is basically the exact same, except that this is just bigger capacity. So I don't think it's the battery. It's this damn to hell failure of a processor. failure of a brand. Good riddance. I mean, please die already. Seriously. EXYNOS, the brand that refuses to become a myth. EXYNOS was Samsung's baby child, but it's grown now. It's caused devastation to families around Asia, got into lawsuits for marketing manipulation, serious security vulnerabilities, and Samsung LI described earnings as stalled in 2025. So aside from being Samsung's most mediocre brand, I'm still talking about EXYNOS. It's a chip that has reportedly had issues with heat and thermal throttling. We talked about, remember the what was it, like the GST throttling or something like that back with the S23? Or the S20, yeah, it was the S23 Ultra. This chip has such an inconsistent history with like bad modems and weak reception, and more specific to me, way weaker power efficiency than compared to competition. Talking about the Snapdragon. My point is, last year we had a smaller battery, but a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in the Z Flip 6, and that was a super power efficient chip that literally blew my mind. This year we have a bigger battery, which is still at normal health, so the battery itself is fine, and yet the phone can't really last me a whole day of usage without at least charging once. I mean, I did a whole day in the life video with the Z Flip 7 as well, and I showed you guys it barely lasted me into the evening, and I had to charge at like 8 p.m. to, top it up. Other than the battery issues, the processor hasn't really manifested other problems. I don't really have any issues with cellular connectivity, and I haven't had any periods where it was dead. Most apps and games run fairly well. Like, I have absolutely no problem with their performance, but it will heat up, again, thanks to the EXYNOS processor. But even while it does heat up a little bit, it doesn't really run super hot, and it doesn't really impact performance whatsoever. So if you're recording videos, you can easily go 4K 30 for like 20, 25, 30 minutes and not really have it heat up too much. There will be some. Same with gaming. Like, you have a Genshin playing for like 35, 40 minutes and not really have it heat up too much. And obviously we have to talk about this right here. Did it open? Oh, yeah, it opened. This beautiful display. It's so fantastic. Watching anything on this inner display is a serious treat. Colors pop and are fantastic to look at, and this larger inner display has made typing longer emails or just browsing and navigating the web so much easier as compared to the Z Flip 6, which was narrower. This larger and wider display is seriously more beautiful than the iPhone 17 display. Okay, goodness. Yeah, the fingerprint scanner is inconsistent. I don't know what to do about that. The fingerprint scanner isn't the best in the business. I'm not gonna lie. It's also like recessed a little. It's not as bad as the Z Fold. The Z Fold is horrid, but this one, it's just not very good. Like, yeah, I'm stuck right now. I have to try again in 3, 2, 1. All right, it better work. It better work. I'm gonna let you guys see it. There it is. Okay. That took a minute, man. That took a while. It's snowing. I don't know if you guys can't see that. Yeah, it's snowing. Finally, some small things before some final thoughts. First, the notifications on this cover display are fast. I've always thought that Samsung devices were really inconsistent with how fast notifications are delivered, but the Flip 7 beats the iPhones at how fast I get alerts for new emails and updates. Big W on that. Also, managing notifications on this cover display is super easy. You can even open up notifications and even open up the app. So for example, I've got a Gmail notification and I can open it, one click. It shows me the specific email. Like, I can, quickly read through it, and then I can click this button in the corner, and it actually opens up the whole app. So the entire full-fledged Gmail app is open, and I can do that with any app. So if I get an Airbnb notification, I can click on it, and it'll give me like a quick preview, and then I can click again, and it'll launch the entire app on the cover display. So I don't need to flip the phone open to actually interact in a larger scale. Big W. And that is actually one of the updates. It's been like 3 months since they launched that update where you can launch any app from the cover display notification screen, and you do need multi-star for it. But my point, and like, I've made all videos in the past, like, you gotta go, like, I'll link it down below as well, like the tricks and tips video, or the tricks and tips video, so you can watch that later. But my point is that Samsung is working on updates and fixes to the cover display to make it a little bit more functional, but in my opinion, they're just like not really, prioritizing it at all, because this is like the one update we've gotten over like what, 4 years. So over like the past 2 generations, all they've really done is like improve the hardware. So the screens got larger, but we haven't really had any additional functionality other than the ability to now open apps fully directly from the notification screen. While I really appreciate that, I would like some updates when it comes to navigation. So if I do have 2 apps open on the cover display, being able to navigate between them, not even having them open like at the same time. I'm not talking about split screen. I'm just talking about being able to navigate around on the cover display, you know, a little bit easier would be really, really nice. And at the moment, obviously, forget multitasking on the cover display. We're not really there yet, but when it comes to running just one app, or, you know, again, replying to an email or opening up Gmail or replying to an Airbnb guest or opening up WhatsApp to go back in your chat history, like you can do all of that on the cover display and it works really well. So those like quick things where you still want to get a little bit more involved, it's really nice on this outer display. And honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with all of that. And so to close this review, ladies and gentlemen, my final thoughts, W phone. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.